Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So we've got to talk about Cenat once again and his cameraman by the name of ChrisV. Now, I don't know why. Well, I think know why. This young man stay in the headlines on some goofy mess. Stuff that's not supposed to be happening just always seems to be happening concerning him. First, he had the incident where the young lady unfortunately was assaulted in his house by somebody he invited there at a party he threw. Once again, I don't care what anybody says. You're throwing a party at your house. You are responsible for everybody that crosses that threshold. Moving on from that. Then he threw the little, meet at the block, down the street, round the corner, gathering, whatever it was, I think in New York, if I'm not mistaken, where all them kids came down there and was acting buck wild, and he basically got arrested. And now this young man stays in trouble, and he stays surrounding himself with trouble and people who cause trouble. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, that's on me for falling for the same goofy mess 2 consecutive times in a row when it comes to the same person. Fool me 3 times, we both need help clearly. At point number 3, clearly I have misplaced or chosen to throw away the God-given common sense, and you're an awful person. That's just my little analogy to help some people wrap their heads around why this should not be a surprise to anybody. Now, what happened this time, you might ask? So allegedly, this young man's cameraman by the name of ChrisV, as I said earlier, got caught text messaging somebody's daughter who was underage. Now, I've seen a few videos of him screaming and banging his hands on the table, and I'm giving him the side eye because it seems like to me he's more angry and he's bothered that he has to address it because it hit the media and it was his cameraman than he was remorseful. And again, before anybody tries to say, oh, it's not his fault, he's the celebrity in this scenario. Who he chooses to associate with is who he chooses to expose his audience, who are children too. And if those people who he chooses to associate with, that he directly exposes to his child audience, are PEDOs, then yes, that is partially his fault. And the reason why so many people won't want to think that it's partially his fault is because this generation, our society, our community has such a disgusting lack of self-accountability and responsibility that it is absolutely pitiful. There are alleged text messages, screenshots, if you will, receipts, if you will, of this young lady basically showing everybody that he was the one pursuing her. Allegedly, in the text messages, she let him know, oh, by the way, my friends lied to you. They said that I was 19. I'm not 19. I'm 17. I'm underage. I don't want you to get in trouble for messing with me. He even said allegedly in the text messages, oh, wow, that's really nice of you to do that. And then still proceeded to send her very lewd, very perverted, very sexually charged and disrespectful text messages. So this is why whenever people get caught up on charges after they did this, I have no sympathy. First of all, you're messing with a child. And second of all, this is the stuff that some of them be doing. They be knowing, some of them, a lot of them, I believe, that these girls be underage and they still be trying to mess with them. But then everybody, society wants to say, oh, it was the girl's fault. She did something. She said something. How was she dressed? No, it's these raggedy behind individuals who are adults seeking out children when there are plenty of adults around them whose company they could be entertaining, but they chose not to. People can sit up and say, oh, well, he didn't touch her. Y'all don't even know who he could have touched before he started talking to her, though. Just from them text messages. Look at these text messages that they had to blur out because of how lewd and disgusting, perverted, like I said, they were. He needs to be thrown under the prison just for talking to a child like that to begin with. She even contacted Cenat to let him know, by the way, your cameraman, he's for the trash, basically. Because that's what PEDOs are. They're for the trash. And I get it. At first, he was thinking this could have been anybody saying anything, trying to, I guess, verify whatever to make sure she wasn't lying to him. Because there are people who will do that. So like I said, I can understand him at first wanting to verify it. But if it's the truth, it's the truth. No amount of you thinking it over and trying to verify and hoping it's not true is going to make it not true. If it's the truth, not acknowledging it is not going to make it go away or be not true. Anyways, she did text him to let him know what was going on with this dude. Let me show y'all what he was text messaged from this young girl. And I quote, "Hi, Kai, I recently seen a clip about you speaking on the Ava/Mr. Beast situation. I do wanted to let you know that Chris, your cameraman, is definitely a pedo too. I remember coming across him on OME TV while I was on Discord sharing my screen. To my friends, they told me that his name is Chris and that he is Amp's cameraman. I said hi, Chris, which got his attention because he was curious how I knew his name. He asked for my age. I lied, said 19 because my friends told me to, and I just went with it. He asked for my Insta. I gave it. As soon as he DM'd me, I told him my real age because I know it's not really cool to lie about that. And from there, I thought he was going to stop answering, but then it led to him being down for a 1vs1 on COD, Call of Duty, I'm assuming, which I thought was fine. Later on, it turned out to him being flirtatious and then texting me some wild mess you shouldn't say to a minor. During this time, I just turned 17. I am now 19. This happened December of 2021 through February, March of 2022. I will gladly show you all the screenshots I have to prove this. We also used to FaceTime. I remember there was a time he passed the phone to you and I was telling you that I could also beat you on a 1vs1 IDK if this helps to remember me." End quote. So not only did she actually communicate with him, but she also communicated with Cenat as well. I don't know what happened to the old school way of not exchanging numbers and talking to people who you don't know, who you don't have information on like that, because quite literally anything could be going on with them. They could be underage. They could be a serial murderer for all you know. Get some more information before you start doing stuff like FaceTiming, texting them crazy wild mess, etc. Now, I am going to point this out because I know somebody right now is probably saying, oh, well, she lied, etc., etc. First of all, I'll give her credit for admitting that whenever she first met him, she allowed her friends to peer pressure her very unwisely into telling him that she was 19. But then when he direct messaged her because she didn't want him to get in trouble, low-key, she was really looking out for him. She told him the truth, which was the right thing to do. She should have told him the truth from the get-go. But clearly, even if she would have done that, he has shown everybody and proved that that would not have stopped him from doing what he did. So all of that bringing up what she did, even though she did tell the truth to him, all of that is irrelevant because he still went through with doing what he did. Even Cenat said, the moment she said she was 17, you should have stopped talking to her. He really should have blocked her. But again, I guess that's too much like right. Now, it kind of concerned me whenever she said in a text message, oh, by the way, your cameraman is one of them too. That too concerned me because I was like, now, wait a minute, is she talking about somebody else? But then I realized she was talking about the Mr. B situation with that other person he was real close with. They just got in trouble as well for the same thing. Him messing around with, well, not the Mr. Beast guy, but the other guy, with underage individuals. People are confused as to why these young men who are over the age of consent, who are 21 plus, keeps getting caught up with children, with minors, involved with underage individuals. But as I've mentioned before, this comes with the territory that these young men involve themselves in. This gaming industry, the streaming industry, they all run in the same circles. They all involve themselves in the same things. They all get caught up in the same things. They get to a certain level. They throw their morals out of the window. They reach a certain level of fame. They have so much money. They feel like they're untouchable. They can do whatever they want to without consequences. And they have the fan bases and the industry giving them what they want in exchange for promoting these lack of good morals and these demonic agendas to back them up and cover for them. At this point, people have to understand that this is an industry thing. Just like all the things you see going on in the music industry, the entertainment industry, the sports industry. Like I said before, they're all connected and the same things happen in them, which is why I don't support any of them. And it's why I encourage other people to not support them. Because they've got the same things going on and running. They're all ran by the same monstrosities, if you will. None of this surprises me concerning these individuals. I would not be surprised if more information comes out about more people like them and the people they're associated with. This is why I keep saying pay attention to what these people do, what they say, who they associate with, and what those people do. Observe, take notes, and act accordingly. And by act accordingly, I mean do not support them. Do not make it seem like they're these people that they aren't. You don't know them. You don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. And eventually, every now and then, we'll find out because it gets exposed in the media. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all all have a very blessed, beautiful, and safe day.